Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel and welcome to another Mix It Up Monday. And in this video I'm going to be making the cornmeal mix that is in the classic Make a Mix cookery book. I love this one because it makes cornmeal muffins and Dixie spoon bread. And what I did was I've got my big half-gallon jar and I actually printed off, I photocopied and printed off those two recipes because they're my favorites, and I put them on the jar. So when I grab this, I've just got the information ready. So what it's going to take is 4 cups of all-purpose flour that I already have in my big mixing bowl, a tablespoon of salt that I have here, 3/4 cup of sugar, I have that here, 1/4 cup of baking powder, which I have here, 1 cup of vegetable shortening, and I've got Crisco there, and 4.5 cups of cornmeal. Now I've just got this box of white cornmeal. Now you can get yellow also, it doesn't really matter, but that's what I have. So the first thing is I'm going to combine the flour, salt, sugar, and baking powder. All of these things are going to go in here together, and then I'm going to mix those well. And then let me get my little mixy thing. Here it is. Like this one, you know, I've got this one with this little sieve on there, which I like. And then it's going to make sure, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cornmeal, or the Crisco in there, the vegetable shortening, and I'm going to mix that really well. And then after that's evenly distributed, then I'm going to simply just pour in the cornmeal and mix that all up really nice. So this is well blended. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this part of this in there, and I'm just going to take it by bits. Now if you don't have something like I've got this whisk that I prefer to use for my mixes, if you don't have something like that, this kind of doubles see as a blender. You can use knives. You can put a pair of gloves on and just break this up with your fingers too if you want, or you could use a pastry cutter. There's a lot of things. I know people that just use, my grandma used to just use 2 butter knives back and forth, like cutting it. But I'm just going to keep working this, and I want this to look like cornmeal before I even add the cornmeal. So stand up. There. Now I'm going to add the rest of this and keep working it in until it's all nicely mixed. That's what I want. Put that in the sink and wash it up. And you know, I don't know if you noticed, like if you can see in the background, I have all my supplies out because what I'm doing, which I used to do, and I haven't done this, but you can see I've had quite a few of these Mix It Up Mondays, but I used to just take like one day every 6 months and replenish all my mixes. I'd make little bits in between if I ran out, but this way I would make sure that I had even the stuff from the freezer that I brought up and put in the jars, and kind of did that. And I always like to do that. So you can see in the background I have all my sugar and my flour out and all my spices, and kind of just a production day. So I've done a bunch of these, kind of supplied my kitchen with mixes over this idea of getting these mixes done, which I'm really glad I did. Okay, I'm going to keep working on this until it's like cornmeal. Okay, I've got that mixed all up nice, and now I'm just going to pour in the cornmeal and mix it up. And you know, I think tomorrow for my pantry cooking for 2, maybe I will make some cornmeal muffins. And the thing I love about this is having this mix like this, I can have a convenient mix without having to open a box and serve the whole thing, because it's just the 2 of us, so I like to make a smaller batch. So this way I can just take the recipe and I can cut it in half, super simple, and make smaller amounts of things when I'm cooking. So there's a great thing of using these mixes when you're cooking for just 1 or 2 people. Alright, I've got that really nicely mixed. Perfect. I was thinking about using the butter flavored Crisco in here too, but I'm just going to go with the regular. And with this, I could add jalapenos in there, I could add cheese in there, I could do all kinds of things with this mix. And it would be so good. Okay. Now, let me put it in the jar for you. Thought I had that. There we go. And one of the things I do when I buy like the great big bag of all-purpose flour, what I don't use, I'm going to break it down into the 2-gallon zip top bags. And this sounds crazy, but in the corner of my chest freezer, I actually take the big bag that the flour came in, and I set it along the wall in the corner of the freezer. And then I have already taken all of the contents out and put them in those 2-gallon bags. And so then I will put those bags inside of the big bag, so it kind of keeps them all together in one place. I know what it is, and kind of a good thing to do. That way it keeps it fresher longer. And I don't have to take out a whole big old bag of flour when I want something. I can use a smaller bag and keep it in the freezer. I know right where it is. Okay, I'm going to get this a little bit pounded down. So I might end up having to use a smaller jar for some of it. I'm not sure. Let me pound that down a little bit more. Yeah, I might have a pint of this, which is fine. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go get a pint jar and put the rest of this in it. Okay guys, I've got it all jarred up. I've got it in a 1/2 gallon, and I've got the instructions for cornmeal, spoon bread, and cornbread on there, if you want it in like a 8x8. And I have a little bit left over, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in this bag because I'm going to put it in the freezer with all of the other mixes that I made. That way it's stored safely. And thinking about pantry cooking for 2 Tuesday, maybe tomorrow I'll make some Dixie spoon bread and chili. That sounds great. So anyway, I hope you guys give this a try. If you do and you like it, let me know what you do with it. Like if you use different add-ins and stuff. I always like putting cheese and corn and maybe some jalapenos or something. So if you do that, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.